This is Lesson 5, the Designer Showcase, as part of the first grade Physics of Movement. This is the culminating activity that really allows students to show off what they've learned through the whole unit. They're going to start with their showcase of the vehicles that they made in Lesson 4. This is a great time to really incorporate those speaking and listening skills from the Common Core State Standards and integrate that as they demonstrate what they've done, and you can really encourage audience participation. Have the other students or any guests that you've invited in for this activity ask your students about their engineering process when they were making those vehicles. What materials did they use and why did they choose them? What worked and what didn't? What kinds of changes did they make during that testing phase that they were doing in Lesson 4? This really gives them a chance to explain their thinking, explain their learning, and really talk about what did and didn't help when they were trying to work with gravity and help that vehicle go farther afterwards. This may take 1 to 2 periods depending on how many students that you have. But it's a part that the students really enjoy as they get to share what worked for them and see what worked for their peers. If you have time afterwards or other free choice time for your students, they can, after they've seen their peers' ideas, they can continue to explore and make other vehicles. This is really a chance to get them very engaged in that process. The next part that students will work on is they're going to make paper plate skimmers. This is a great activity for outside. You'll want to take some materials out with you. You'll want to talk with the students about what they already know about Frisbees and tell them what they designed today. Their skimmer will be similar in concept except that they have control over changing the design and making alterations to it. You'll want to take the paper plates out as well as take a stapler, some scissors, and pencils out to the playground with you so that as they are testing their skimmers, they can make their alterations right there and test them immediately. You can talk about stapling 2 paper plates together. What would that look like? Which way will they turn the plate when they're doing it? Allow them a lot of time for that whole engineering process where they're testing their ideas, making alterations, and continuing to test to see what works. And again, discussion afterwards about what did and didn't work well, and allowing them time to continue to explore after they've shared ideas with their peers. A great way to end the paper plate skimmers is by demonstrating the boomerang afterwards. If your students aren't familiar with a boomerang and how it works, this is a great time to show them by asking one of your students to catch it, throwing it to them, and seeing their surprise as it comes back to you rather than going to them. And then you can have students experiment and play with the boomerang themselves so that they can see that. The very last part of this lesson is a review over everything that was learned through the Physics of Movement unit. You'll want to talk about the different vocabulary that was used with force, with motion, pushing, pulling, gravity, and just really give students an opportunity to put together all that they've learned in this unit and share that with others. As with all of our units, the student workbook does have several pages allowing you to integrate math and English language arts throughout the unit, so you'll want to make sure that you refer to the teacher's addendum for the different activities that are available to you there. Thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed this unit.